3, 2, 1. I don't know, dude.
No, I'm just kidding.
Listen, I have no idea.
Welcome to the Catch 22 podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Jay.
And I'm Zach, or Ultrah, or whatever the hell you want to call me. I don't really care.
And as Ultra says, we're here to get some at 3 a.m.
Yeah, we are here to get some indeed. It's Saturday night, or Sunday morning, I guess, 3 a.m. And we have been sitting here for an hour trying to figure out what the fuck we were going to talk about and trying to get our settings right. But every single time we start to record, the settings are wrong. We have to change everything.
Do we have it figured out for next week?
I think we have it figured out. I don't know. I mean, hopefully. I'm going to save all of this in my fucking phone after this so that we don't forget. But
probably not. But
yeah.
If you're looking at the video podcast of this, I'm drinking the same water from the first episode. And every episode, I intend to just take a little more sip until we just drain this motherfucker. So
yeah, until it's like, yeah. So basically, this was supposed to be a weekly thing, just saying. And it really would, like, the last podcast we recorded was exactly like a month ago, I want to say. And he's still drinking the same water. Mine's new, just saying. Everything's safe over here. But yeah, I don't know about that.
But we're back on a schedule. We had some things that we had to figure out. And it kind of took a month to get this whole audio thing figured out. I'm just kidding. No, but it almost did. No, we had some things.
Really busy, honestly.
We had some things come up that we didn't expect. But we're going to get on the weekly podcast.
Dude, I just been grinding.
Yeah, you have.
Seriously, this is literally, side note here. This is literally what happened. We said we were going to record the next podcast. It was 2 weeks later. It wasn't the same week because, we finished that one. But then 2 weeks later, we were like, all right, dude, next podcast. All right, we're recorded on Saturday. And it's like, it's Monday night or Tuesday night, I think, when we said this. And then I go to sleep, and then I wake up 2 weeks later, and it's still fucking, 2 Saturdays have passed. And I'm like, well, fuck, we still didn't record the podcast. And then you know how that goes. I didn't, keep in mind, that's a metaphor. Is it called a metaphor or I'm not being serious. I didn't really sleep for 2 weeks straight, but you know what I mean? You get in the grind or whatever, or you are working and kind of just putting things on the back burner, and then you don't actually get it done. And it's more time passes so damn fast you don't even recognize how much time has passed. Kind of like how discipline works, right?
Yeah.
You let your discipline slip one day, and then the next day, and then it's before you know it, 2 days becomes a week becomes a month becomes a year, and then before you know it, 5 years down the road, you're a bum and you've done nothing, and you had all these big plans 5 years before, but all because you let your discipline slip 1 week. That's all that happened, or it all went downhill from there. So, So what did you want to talk about today, my friend?
I want to see, I struggle with this, and I still sometimes do, to be quite honest with you, but I want to see if you struggle with it, so.
Yeah, I don't know.
On it.
So, what's up?
All right, so for the longest time, I didn't post YouTube videos because I feared the hate comments, because I knew.
Did you really?
Yeah, so on YouTube, YouTube is known for
I almost don't believe you.
The hate comments are people just roast you, especially when you're starting out, they'll fucking attack you, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like this is something that a lot of people struggle with.
I feel bad for telling you about the Conor McGregor guy now.
Why?
I don't know. Dude, I didn't know you cared.
Yeah. So for the longest time,
I just don't care.
I posted videos and then I delete them because I was like, no, I can't have people watch.
When?
You didn't even know about this.
I didn't.
No, I did it a year and a half ago. I was like, I'm gonna start doing YouTube because I've always liked editing, right? Yeah.
That's insane.
I've always liked editing, and I posted it.
So after the business,
I felt so self-conscious about it.
After the business,
a little bit, yeah.
That's insane. Yeah, I had no idea.
I posted them and then I deleted them because I was so scared that I didn't even look at the comments.
Even after listening to all of what Andy had to say about haters, you didn't even
It wasn't until one podcast, and that's what I want to get into is what helped me. That might help other listeners, but I want to see if you struggled with that. I
mean, I honestly don't. So I don't know. I can definitely provide input here, but for me, I've just never really cared about anybody's opinion. You know what I mean? I can honestly say that.
Yeah.
For the long, remember in middle school, I literally looked like fucking Justin Bieber, dude. People would try to bully me about that, and I would just be like, okay.
You got bullying? I think you wouldn't.
They would try.
They'd hype you up though. I mean, if you look like Justin Bieber, you're doing pretty good.
No, I guess maybe, yeah, I suppose so, right?
That's why you fucking don't struggle with this.
Well, I honestly think that I just got over it a long fucking time ago. I just got over it a long time ago. I had to experience it at a younger age, so I just never even realized it. I'm just saying this off the riff here, right? I had no intent of actually saying this, but I don't think that I've ever cared about haters because of the fact that I had to deal with them at such a young age that I just didn't ever really. I just got over it a long time ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I just really don't care.
So
I just kind of do my thing and I go from there. I had no idea that you actually struggled with that though, because that actually gives me better context that other people actually do struggle with it.
yeah.
Because that's one of those things, right? Like I've never had to deal with it. So I just assume that that's the way everybody is. Like it's just like people are being over dramatic about it, but I had no idea it's an actual thing. So
Yeah, I mean, usually when I'm doing this, I'm coming from like, you like to be liked. So when you post something, you post it so like people enjoy it and have a good time about it.
yeah,
And then it's like I would never go on to like I use this metaphor. I would never go into someone else's lawn and like shit on their property.
oh
So
yeah.
why would they do it to me? And like I've
See,
never
and that's my other thing.
I've never been the thing like if I don't like your content or whatever you're posting, I'm just not gonna say anything about it.
I'm not gonna go out of my way to talk shit,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. See,
Lot-
that's the other thing, right? Because I'm the same way.
This is the
So
thing.
I can't relate.
This is the thing that helped me understand though is that a lot of the people actually doing this and posting just hate comments are not in a good place themselves. Or another thing is not everything. This was the thing that helped me. Not everything I do is going to be for everyone. Some people are going to love it and some people are going to hate it. And I just need to do things for the people that love it.
I see what you're saying, and this kind of comes down to the thing where it's like, is that the podcast that you, the Raving Fans podcast? So okay,
Yeah.
so like, people are either gonna love you. So okay, the world is completely divided in two ways in everything.
50-50.
50-50, right? Politics and everything, and the way that we see it, which I assume this is what changed your mind, right? This podcast.
Yes.
Okay, so we're talking about the MFCEO podcast, so you guys know. Can 100% rep that here. I don't care. You guys honestly should go listen to it. But so the world is completely divided, 50-50 on everything. Politics, whatever. I don't know. People are either going to love you or people are going to hate you. And while you can ride the line in the middle and try to make both parties like you, you're probably better off just going all in on one side, because that's the side that you are going to like. I don't know.
Actually,
me personally, I'm pretty neutral with this.
Politics is a great example because if you swing far left or far right, and if you're in the middle, no one gives a shit about you.
Right.
But if
like,
you're in the left or the right, people you're like in the conversation.
Yep, exactly. Like, and people will see this all the time and they won't really understand what's happening. So like a streamer stirs the pot, right? We were just talking about this earlier. Streamer stirs the pot, and it's somebody that like is very good at getting attention, whether it be good attention or bad attention. They're good at getting attention, which then gets more eyes on them. But you might hate them, but then they have a ton of people that also love them. And whether you like them or not, that's just kind of like the way that I feel like you should do everything. Like you should go all in on what you believe in, on the way that you are, and you shouldn't try to ride the line in the middle and try to please people that aren't gonna like you anyways. Because at the end of the day, if you do try to ride the line in the middle, the people that would love you if you were just the way that you were are not going to love you as much as if you're like sitting there riding the line in the middle.
For sure.
And you might be able to get people from the other side to like you as well, but at the end of the day, they're never going to like you as much as they would if you were.
That's what I was going to
whatever.
get into. Is that's a very dangerous game to play because you only have so much energy. Might as well focus that energy on the people that already love you. Because if you're trying to
100%.
convince people, like it's so much energy, and like you're only going to convince them to an extent. So it's like focus on the people that love your content and do it for them. So that's one of the things that helped me. So for any of you, if you struggle with this, which sometimes I still do, but I'm way better with it, it's not everyone's gonna love what you do. And if you try to do something like make an Instagram account and just post cats, like you don't really stand for anything. That's another thing. It's like standing for something.
See, and my thing is like, here's the other thing, right? Like if you guys don't know, I stream live on Twitch. Most of the audience here is obviously going to be people that know me. But that being said, there are new people as well. So anyways, I live stream on Twitch. I play video games. That's pretty much what I do 12 hours a day. But when you're doing like live content, you constantly have people coming in. You constantly have people hating. So I think that's another reason. Like I never really cared to begin with about those people because of what I mentioned earlier, like the fact that I had to deal with it a long time ago. So I just don't really even notice a difference. But like it's so easy to get over when you have so many people coming in. Like I have to ban like 5 people a day that just come in and like talk some shit. It's just stupid.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, why are they doing it?
Yeah.
Why are they doing it?
Well, here's the thing.
Jealous.
Here's the thing. Yeah, that's another thing is what I want to, is it really hate or is it jealousy? And
Dude, I can't imagine. Like, imagine people coming into your like YouTube comment section when you're brand new, like to YouTube, and you don't even have any views. and people are talking shit. Like, is that? I can't imagine. How are they jealous? It
Yeah,
makes no sense. I don't get it.
it could be people that also want to start a YouTube channel but don't have the courage. So then they shit on someone because it makes them feel good. That's the thing, though. It's like a lot of people that they're not really hating. I would say they're more jealous. And when people come into your stream and like shit talk you or whatever, it's because they see you doing something
Right.
that they could do but they're not doing.
So I suppose we should make the variation between a hater and somebody who's jealous, right?
Yeah,
Like, what's a hater?
a hater is like the guy that came to my house and like paintballed my house.
Yeah,
That's
which
a hater.
I did not know, by the way.
Yeah.
I had no idea that happened until
Yeah.
like 5 minutes ago. But
Yeah.
so what actually happened
Which,
there?
by the way,
Do you
I
know
don't-
why they did it?
No. So I still don't know
I
to this
still-
day.
who
I still
knows,
don't know
dude?
to this day. And
Is
then
it like random? I don't even know. People, I mean, okay, I guess people used to do that to me all the time.
and they scratched my car because it was
The STI?
No, the Lexus, but it was because people.
Right.
I got the car and they were saying daddy's money, which I actually worked for that car.
Oh, dude, we should tell the story of the time when the day you got the Lexus.
The first day, I go pick up Ultrah, and we're driving around. We like the car, we're enjoying the car, and some
Well, we're
dad
just driving around. I mean, that's like what we do when that's just how we come up with all these ideas,
we
right?
call it mobbing.
Mobbing, yes.
And this time, we're mobbing during the day, which is why we mob at night and why we're here at 3 a.m. But this guy just pulls up next to the car, the Lexus, right? And he says, what did he say? He's like, I hope you're enjoying daddy's fucking money. Something like that.
He's like, yeah, because it has like the temp tags or whatever. And he's like,
Yeah.
nice daddy's money, shitter, or something like that. And I'm just like confused. I was like, wait, is this guy serious? Hello? Like, who are you?
By the way, we did nothing to aggravate this guy or nothing.
Yeah,
He
we were just driving and he pulled up next to us and I looked at him and I was just like, hey.
It was at a red light. We were both in a Lexus. By the way, the Lexus wasn't even that expensive. Like,
Dude,
the guy,
it wasn't even a nice Lexus. That's the crazy thing. I mean, it
Yeah.
was old and it had
Yeah.
like 200,000 fucking miles, dude. It
Yeah.
wasn't even that nice.
Yeah.
I mean, like, look, I'm grateful for everything, but like, just because somebody has a Lexus doesn't mean anything. I mean, chances are it costs as much as your Honda Civic or less. Like, people look at the Lexus logo and they're like, oh, it's a fucking Lexus, dude. This guy's a piece of shit. And
Yeah.
it's just stupid. Yeah, I guess that's kind of like a hater, isn't it?
So yeah, I would consider haters
Or
someone.
no, he's jealous. Like he's jealous. He didn't.
that
actually do anything.
that guy was jealous.
Yeah.
Or whatever, but whatever. Fuck that guy. The
Right.
people who like come to your house or like physically or like try to harm you in some way, I would consider that a hater. So a lot of us really don't have haters.
Right.
I wouldn't even consider that I have haters, even if that happened. I don't consider
Right,
that
me
haters.
too. Because like people used to come to my house all the time and like egg it, I guess.
Yeah, I
but
do
that was
remember
also
that.
in like high school.
Yeah,
So it's like, is that really hating? I don't. I mean, maybe, but like,
to some extent, but I wouldn't.
yeah. I mean, it's just like, who really cares, right? I mean, it is what it is.
Like,
It's stupid, but
Once someone starts to slash your tires, and like that's
Yeah,
that's
like-
that's why they call it a hate crime.
legit,
that's-
right? And legitimately vandalize your shit for
Yeah.
no fucking reason outside of the fact that they actually just dislike you.
Like that person had to wake up in the morning or night and say, you know, what, I'm gonna grab this knife and go slash this guy's tires because I
Yeah,
hate him.
fuck
Because
this guy, dude.
I dislike him so much.
Did you ever figure out if the tires got slashed or?
I didn't, but I can only assume they did because both of them were slashed on the left side. So it's like,
Yeah, so
and a lot of people don't know where I live because this is a new house. This which is really weird.
Yeah, so like everybody that we know like kind of knows like where we live, I guess, just
Yeah.
because like we haven't moved or anything. But Jay actually moved, and people still fuck with his house all the time. Like,
Yeah.
what was that? Somebody like drove the private property sign into your lawn.
I don't
or
know if that
whatever?
was for me or my younger brothers, but yeah, someone put a private
Dude,
property.
what are your brothers up to, man? People
Bro.
always doing shit. Like, what are these guys doing?
I don't know.
Man?
They're not watching this podcast though. That's all I'll fucking tell you that much.
That's fucking hilarious.
But yeah,
So, long story short, people don't really like. I mean, unless you have things like drastic happening to you, you probably don't really have haters. You just have people who are jealous of you, which, by the way, is not a you problem. That's a them problem. You're
Yeah.
doing something right. Like, that's a good thing.
that's a battle within themselves. And again, jealousy. I mean, if you think about it, where does jealousy really stem from? It's within themselves because they see something that they don't have, which they could have. They
They-
just don't put the work,
Yeah, whether it be because they don't have the courage to do it themselves,
or they make excuses or whatever else.
right. And at the end of the day, like, see, this is another thing. Like, extreme ownership, right? Everything is your fault. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, we could go into that could be a whole podcast in and of itself. But like, I think that, so particularly with like streaming on Twitch, right? Like, I can use this as an example. So like, I have an average of, later in the day at least, I have an average of like 60 viewers, 50 viewers at the lower end. And, well, I'd say the lower end's like 40. just kind of varies day to day, I guess. But people will come in and they'll see that I'm like 21. Maybe they read the panel and it says that I'm like I stream full time or whatever. And then they see that I have 50 viewers and they assume probably that I make a lot more money than I really do. And then they talk some shit in chat and then they get banned. Or they get, publicly humiliated on the internet and then they get banned. One of the two. And I can't help but imagine that these people are just like, working their 9 to 5 and they hate their life because, they don't do shit like this for themselves and they have no option to because they've like they're in deep with like, bills now and they can't really like quit their job or anything like that. See, thing with me is like, I don't have any bills because I've never like, gone out of my way to obtain bills. Like I've never moved out. I never, went and bought a car and everything that I have is like paid off. Right. So I don't really have many bills outside of like, phone, insurance, that type of stuff. So I don't know. Like I say that knowing that, most people are probably not like me and you as well. Like most people probably want to move out as soon as possible. Most people probably want to buy a car and start their life as soon as possible. For me, it's like I've always been like focused on the long game shit. I don't care how long it takes, but it's going to be 10 times better when we actually do figure it out.
Yeah, I would say you're pretty close to your family too. You never like really gone to party out, and which is why I can relate to Zach a lot because I'm 22. I've never been to a strip club or actual club.
Yeah, me neither.
But
I used to go to parties all the time, I guess. But aside from that, like I didn't really enjoy it. Like I don't like going to parties. I don't like spending time around people.
I wanted to touch on that thing that you said is when they have a 9 to 5 and they've acquired bills. After that 9 to 5, whatever they're doing, they're still not doing.
Oh right, yeah, they're
which is
dedicating their time to talking shit.
They hate themselves.
Right.
Because they can be using that time to allocate that time.
And they know it deep down.
Deep down,
whether
which
they
is
believe
why
it or not.
Jealousy is a mirror to them, and they're looking at themselves, and they know they're lacking in that.
And that's where the excuses and stuff come in too.
So that's where they take the anger, jealousy out on you.
Right. Okay.
Or on someone else, or whoever's doing the thing that they want to do that they can do. Again, they can do it. They just don't put the time because they've made the excuse that
one reason or another, yeah.
They're not going to do it. They're not going to make it. Or
well, I have a 9 to 5. I don't have any time to do that.
Priorities.
Meanwhile, for 3 hours a day, they're sitting on the couch on their phone on Twitch talking shit to other streamers because they're pissed. It's like, get out of here, dude. Come on. Like, is that my fault or is that your fault?
Yeah. And
like,
I'll still blame myself for this. Like
yeah,
that.
Right.
But
well, dude, shit. I guess I fucked up, man. Ah, damn.
Yeah.
So is that why you still struggle with it then?
I don't struggle with it as much. I'm like leaving it, thankfully. But yeah, I struggle with
Fair
it.
enough.
Yeah, and it's something that I wanted to talk about it because I know a lot of people do struggle with it. Like my cousin, she's overweight and she lost a lot of.
Really?
She lost a lot of. This is a different cousin. She lost a lot of pounds.
Not the one that records.
She lost like
it.
120 pounds.
Damn. Okay.
And she's still like, she still feels insecure. But again, it's like a mental thing that you have to. So what I do now is like I run like 10 miles a day because it's like probably it like helps me in a weird way. But
do you really?
Yeah.
Is that what you've been doing for 75 hard?
Yeah, 10 miles a day.
Oh, we should talk about 75 hard in a podcast too.
Yes,
mental toughness.
people have been asking about that. We'll do that.
Mental
we'll
toughness.
do that.
That's next week.
That's
next week.
That's next week's podcast.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did struggle with it, and it's interesting to hear your side because someone who didn't struggle with it or not as much. I can learn from that and see where.
Yeah, you can just see my perspective, I guess, right?
Yeah, but the thing, like going back to the thing that helped me is whatever. There's gonna be people that like you and don't like you, and a lot of people struggle with it too. That I know because it's like, well, people like to be liked. Like when someone comes up to you and like, yo, this sucks, or like you make the shittiest content, or like this stream sucks. Like, oh, well, dude, I didn't do anything to you.
See, okay,
So it's like,
actually, I can comment on that. I'll have people come in from time to time, and they'll say something that's remotely true. So let's say I'm playing, so I play Rainbow Six, and I play ranked in Rainbow Six. And I'm currently the highest rank, and I've been the highest rank for a long time. But sometimes I'm playing with friends, and I'll play with lower rank players, or I'll play on a lower rank account because of that. So basically, there's a ranking system, and the better you are, the higher rank you are. And I'll play on a lower rank account because I'm playing with friends, oftentimes other streamers, by the way, who are lower rank players. And it's not going to be fun for them to play with me on my main account when, they're a lower rank player, because it'll average out the difference in ranks when it goes to matchmake you against another team, and they're going to be playing against people who are a lot better than them, basically, right? So instead, I just play on a lower rank account, and I play against people who are worse than me. And I'll sometimes have people come in, and they'll start talking shit and being like, why are you playing on this? Like, dude, you're literally this or that. And they'll think that that's the main account or something like that. And I'll often, like, look at that because they'll say it like, oh, your title says you're diamond, but really you're a gold, which is, you know, middle of the average, whatever. It's not the top 1% rank. It's the middle
rank.
ground, average. Right. And I'll look at it and I'll be like, yo, that's actually true. And then I'll start to think about it and I'll actually feel bad about it because I'll be like, dude, my title says this and I'm playing, let's just say I'm playing really bad. And they'll come in with a different expectation because they'll expect me to be a higher ranked player than I really like am playing at that time. And it's just like, I'm not playing very well and they think I'm bad at the game. Something like that. And I can't remember where I was going with this, but yeah, I mean, I'll often feel pretty bad about that, I guess.
Yeah.
And I'll take that personally.
Which is like,
oh, and that's right. That's what I was gonna say. So that person, they'll say like, dude, your shit is garbage. Why? Oh, you're literally so bad at the game. I can't even understand why you're even like streaming, whatever. And that's like what I'll think in my head. Maybe it's not the way that they say it, but like that's what I'll think in the back of my mind. And it's like, okay, well, you should say that to the other 50 people that are watching. Like, you say this like you should not, like nobody's gonna want to watch, but there's 50 other people watching. And at the end of the day, they can click off and they can go watch somebody else's stream if that's what they want to do. Is that my fault? No. Like, they didn't need to say anything, but like at the end of the day, there are people who are going to love me and there are people that are going to dislike me or hate me or whatever.
No matter what you do.
Yeah, no matter what you do. And that's just kind of how it goes. So like, there's nothing I can do about that.
Yeah.
And I don't need to spend time worrying about people who don't really matter at the end of the day.
Yeah. Now, there is a very fine line where you said with that, and that is a lot of the times it is jealousy, but a lot of the times it could be constructive criticism. And
right. And I take it as both.
So, yeah, a lot of the times when, like, this happens a lot in families, you want to do something right, and they're like, oh, this is dumb. You know,
they mean well.
They mean well. They care about you.
And we have a lot of experience with this, I'm sure, right?
Yeah. They care about
I do,
you.
at least.
Yeah, they care about you, and they don't. It comes off the bad way, you can say.
Yeah, like my mom insists that I have a plan B.
Yeah.
And as Andy told me a long time ago, I have to take my plan B, rip it in half, take a piss on it, and light it on fire.
Poor guy.
Yeah, like, I mean, you know what I mean? So, like, my mom will tell me that I should get a job just in case or something like that, or I should go to college just in case or something like that, in case it doesn't work out. In case it doesn't work out. And it comes off as her not believing in me.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, does she believe in me?
That's what everyone would interpret it as.
Right. It comes off that way.
Yeah.
And it's not that she doesn't believe in me. It's that she means well, and she wants to make sure that I'm not going to be fucked later in life if, like, it actually didn't work out. Which, by the way, in my head, that's not a fucking option. There is no plan B. I will either succeed or I will die. And that's really all that comes down to, right? So we'll figure it the fuck out.
Yeah.
And that's just kind of what I live by. But that being said, maybe you're the same way. Maybe you're not. Or maybe you go into something later down the road and you have that mindset yourself. You're going to have people constantly in your family who mean well, who want you to have a plan B. They want you to, you know, look at other things or whatever because you're not going to get success immediately. Or you're not, maybe not even in a year or 2 years or 3 years. Maybe it takes 4 years. And those people are going to be constantly urging you to have some other plan so that you can, go forward with something else. And maybe it's even worse than that. Like, my mom says it in a nice way.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, people might say it in a completely, like, vulgar way. Like, you need to get a fucking job and this and that, and you need to move out and you need to get your own fucking house or whatever, something like that. But at the end of the day, they're not saying that because they hate you. Whether it sounds like it or not, they're not saying it because they hate you. They're saying it because they care and they want to make sure that you're going to succeed.
You're going to be okay financially and all that stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's just, it all comes down to your interpretation of it. Like, you can't let that type of shit phase you. Like, you cannot let that type of shit phase you. That's not hating either, and that's not jealousy. That's somebody who actually cares. So there's like 3 interpretations of this that it can actually be. Overall
perspective is like the biggest key thing here is like, know that they're coming from a good place.
It really is. Yeah, it all comes down to perspective.
Yeah, know that your parents or whatever, your girlfriend or whatever is coming down from a good place.
Right.
And they're doing it because they care. And
Yep.
they might just not be explaining or like coming off of it as that way, but that is the case. I can most likely promise you, unless
Right.
unless you know that that's not the fact, then you should probably get out of that situation.
Now, what's the solution? Because what does Gary say? You know what Gary says to say to your mom.
Fuck you.
Right. And Andy says,
But-
take a piss on your plan B and, break up with your girlfriend and all this and that. And it's like, I mean, honestly, yeah, I would agree with that. Like, if your girlfriend is kind of trying to pull you down, or boyfriend or whatever, is trying to pull you down and, like, get you to go on a different path than you actually want to go on. Like, so I can relate to this directly, right? Like, when Jay and I started our business and all that, and by the way, like, I was playing, World of Warcraft and all this at the time, and I had a bunch of stuff that I was doing. She did not want me to do any of that shit. Like, she was trying to get me to quit all of it. Quit the business, quit the video games, all this and that. And she wants me to get a job, like, as a fucking plumber or something. Like, I'm glad that we broke up when we did, but I let that shit fly for, like, a year straight before it actually ended. And when it actually ended, I realized how much that was actually, like, pulling me down. And Jay tried to point it out a lot. He gave me podcasts. What was it called? Drop the anchor, get a propeller.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, like, okay, at the end of the day, if you're trying to succeed, you can't have all this background noise and shit trying to pull you down and, anchor you and pull you back to where you fucking belong. Like, you need propellers. And if that means you need to break up with your girlfriend or boyfriend to ensure that you can succeed, well, then that's just how it's got to be. You got to be supported. Now, that being said, I experienced this with my mom. I don't tell her to fuck off, though. I just say, don't worry, it's going to be okay. We're going to get it done. And that's it. She will oftentimes say things like, well, Zach, I would really like you to, consider a plan B or something like that. But at the end of the day, I keep saying at the end of the day, what I end up telling her is just like, listen, don't worry about me. It's going to be fine. I'll figure it out. Whatever. It's going to work. And that's always worked for me.
So I have a question for you. When your ex was acting that way, was it coming off from a constructive criticism, or was she jealous that you were actually chasing your dreams in a way?
No, I don't know. I honestly don't know. I mean, I think that it wasn't constructive criticism or jealousy. I think it was just that she wanted me to do something that I was not, that my vision was, it was completely opposite of my vision, basically. I mean, like, she literally wanted me to become, like, a plumber.
Ultrah's plumbing, not bad.
Yeah, true. I mean, hey, I think we can make it fit with anything, but, like, you know what I mean? I mean, she wanted me to do something that was completely, like, not aligned with what my goals were or anything like that.
Yeah.
Or, like, our goals in the business or anything. Like, she thought it was stupid. And she was like, well, when you start making a lot of money, then we'll fucking be whatever. It's like, dude, we've been working on this for 3 months. Like, you really thought we were going to be, like, millionaires in 3 months? Come on.
Yeah.
Not even close.
Apply it to the situation you have, and know that if your situation, like, you'll know when your situation, like, I got to get out of this situation, you should just probably get the fuck out. Because
Right.
It's going to be a dead end. And what's going to happen is you're going to end up regretting everything, which is why I love my parents. I fucking love them because, like, again, with the immigrant thing, I don't want to play this whole immigrant card, but they're immigrants. I was born here. And the way for an immigrant to make it is to go to school, be a doctor. And I was so dumb growing up, like you guys heard. But when I proved it to them, I was like, you know what? I can do this high school shit. I can get the 4.0. Can you guys let me do my thing? And they let me. And all my family, they all went to college, and they brag about it because it's like, oh, my kid's going to this college, which is why everyone puts the bumper sticker on their cars, like all the fucking soccer moms. Like, my kid goes to
My kid's an honor student.
For them. They don't give a fuck about the kid.
Controversial one here. My son's in the U.S. Army.
Yeah, that too.
Or a soldier mom,
which,
or whatever.
Which, by the way, cool. Thank you for your service.
Yeah, thank you so much. And it's nothing but respect. But at the end of the day, that also applies, right?
Yeah.
Like, let them do their thing. Let them live their life. You don't need to push them into things that they don't want to do, I guess. You know what I'm saying?
So, yeah, my parents got a lot of shit for that. Like, really? You're just not going to let him go to school? Well, he's going to have to move out of the house and get a job and do all this. But I kind of proved it to them that I can do the whole high school thing. And later on, if I really needed to go to college, I was going to go. I was never going to go.
Yeah, same.
But, the way for like if you're an immigrant, you know this, dude. The only way to get out of this 9 to 5 is to go to college, and they said, you know what, whatever everyone else thinks, whatever, do your thing. We trust you. You did. We asked you to graduate. That's all we wanted because I was the first graduate in my family, and after that, I've been doing this and working on what I can. So
right, which we talked about in the last podcast.
Yeah.
If you guys want more of an introduction to both of us, but yeah. So I guess at the end of the day, like it comes down completely to like your perspective when it for like haters and that type of shit, right?
Yeah.
So like haters, they are hating on you. Well, actually, wait.
They're not. They don't. For you, they probably don't exist. For most of you,
Yeah.
it's not going to be a thing.
Well, what if they do though? Because I don't think we really touched on that. Like, what if somebody actually does hate you? How do you fix that?
You
I don't
can't.
really know.
You can't really control someone
you
else's
can't-
actions.
Right. So I mean, I guess I don't really have much experience with it, so I couldn't really comment on
I
it.
can't. I don't really want to comment on it because
Especially, well, you as well though, because
I
you've
live in-
actually gotten hate
but-
like shit that's happened to you before. So I guess you just kind of have to like.
you have to.
Let it play
you have
itself
to,
out.
You have to roll with it. Go with the ball. And especially if you're. It could be too that you're also looking for the hate. You know,
Right.
you're doing things. I can honestly say I was not. I mean, I stay in my room 24/7. I was not doing things to like.
True.
They were
True.
hating on. I
So
don't
like
wanna
if
say
you're
that.
out like. You
I don't
know,
want to say that they were hating on the car I had, but when they come to your house and slash your tires, and I guess I don't even want to call it hate. But
Yeah,
I guess
it doesn't
was,
feel like it, man. I don't know.
it's just hate is a very strong word, and we use it so much that it's like racist. When people throw around the term racist,
It's just starting to lose its meaning.
it loses its meaning. And when someone's actually racist, it's diluted. It's not actually what it. Dude, you should not be calling people racist or throwing that word around. Same
Unless
with
they're
hate.
legitimately racist.
Yeah. What
And
is?
I do it all the time. I'm like a victim of this. I say it as a meme, dude.
Yeah.
Like somebody will say, "Yeah, dude, I hate that operator," or "Yeah, I hate what do they say? Like I hate this streamer," and I'll be like, "Bro, that's racist. What are you talking about?"
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, it's not actually racist.
That's in a joking way,
obviously.
but I'm talking about
Right.
like when people are like, you know, I'm not gonna use examples, but you just use the word around like, and I think racist is one of those words, and another word is hate.
I also
Hate-
feel like people don't really know what the hell they're saying because they're just not. Very
again,
smart,
that's why we're
so.
touching on this
True.
topic is like hate.
True.
People just misuse the word, and a lot of the times it's people just don't like you or don't like what you're doing, or they're just jealous.
Right. So I guess we could segue here. Like, what's the problem with people and haters? It holds them back. Like you mentioned before, like
Yeah.
you were gonna start making YouTube videos and you would upload and delete them.
Yeah.
So it holds people back. And all right, I guess like for us, right, when we started our business and my mom was telling me that I need to have a plan B and I need to, like, I was getting constantly yelled at, dude.
Yeah.
Like every day I was getting yelled at. And it's just something I had to endure and just deal with. And eventually it just kind of like, she believes in me now because I've actually gotten some shit done. And I guess that's another thing, right?
You gotta
Like nobody's going to believe in you when you've done nothing.
gotta have something to prove.
Dude, this is a whole other topic here, and it's kind of the same thing. Like people believing in you, like people sit and bitch about people not believing in them when they've done nothing.
Yeah. So
You know?
I mean, you can't
The
can't
work-
really
The work comes before the belief, brother.
you can't really blame them because you haven't done anything, and that's okay as long as you start doing something though. And like,
Right. And I
get
think
to
that
it.
people will also like project other people not believing in them to them not believing in themselves, though.
it's a mass. Like
And-
I tell you.
Yeah, I mean, at the beginning, like you're probably not gonna believe in yourself. Like
Most
I'll say, I can use this as an example, and maybe you have some other stuff you could add, but like for me, when I first started streaming, it was very hard. And I've mentioned this to you before. Like I would try to show up every single day. And there were days where it was so hard for me to actually stream because of the fact that I knew that I would not get a follower.
Yeah.
And the more days in a row that I would go, the harder it would get until I just hit a breaking point. And I was like, fuck this. And then I would just sleep all day.
Well,
like,
that's
literally.
interesting. It'd get harder.
Yes. Much harder.
Hmm.
Now it's easy. Because I
Because
know
you
that I'll
think
get something
you
done,
think
but-
after you do something once and you build up this like fear, and it's like it doesn't you build up the worst case scenario, and then you actually do, and you're like, why the fuck was I scared? You usually like you're like, well, it wasn't that bad, so I'm just gonna.
Well, I
would
think
I'm gonna stream tomorrow because this was actually fun.
yeah, and I think that it all comes down, like for me personally, I think I'm really weird. right? Like I feel like nobody can really like I can't relate to anybody except for you really. Or like, other people who are very ambitious. But like for me, I would I would know what my goals were and I would see very little if any progress. Like okay, so to put this into perspective, I streamed for 1500 hours. Okay? Like 1500 hours on the camera before I got to 500 followers. Now, I think I've recently hit like 4,000 hours, I want to say. And I'm nearing like I'm very very close to 5,000 when we're recording this right now. If once you guys hear this, I should be past 5,000 probably. But like I think it was at the beginning I just didn't really believe in myself.
Yeah.
Like nobody else believed in me except for you probably, but like I didn't believe in myself, and that's what matters, right? So the work always comes before the belief, as Uncle Andy has taught, right? And I'm just gonna keep like, is that cool if I reference Andy here?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, is that a bad thing? I don't know. But like, seriously, listening to that podcast completely changed my perspective on the entire world and my entire life, and it literally just made everything correct. And we don't want to like regurgitate that shit here, obviously. Like, it's not like we've had experience with all of it, but we've had experience with a lot of it. So, I mean, that's kind of what we're talking about. And for me, I think I just didn't believe in myself at the beginning. But as you do the work and you continue to show up day in, day out, and you get it done, and then you start to see results. When you start to see those results, then you start to fucking believe in yourself. And then you become unstoppable.
Yeah.
Because if you believe in yourself, nothing else matters.
Yeah.
And all those other people that don't believe in you, guess what? I can't, like, I don't care.
And that
doesn't matter.
The segue that I wanted to turn into is the results. I ran with the jealousy, like, because the people that were commenting bad things or whatever, it wasn't that many either, but it's like I wasn't used to it. Like I was barely uploading, so I took whatever they were writing, the jealousy, and I started getting results. And I started like, oh, people actually like some of my videos. Like this is a thing. So I started seeing the results, and I was like, well, if there's people actually that like them, I'm gonna do the videos for them. It goes back to like doing things for the people that like you, and turning them into that people that love you. Then I saw the results. The results were like the jet fuel, the rocket fuel. And after that, that's when I like tuned out like quote unquote the haters or the jealousy, and I ran with it and I started uploading, and ever since I've been uploading. But the results are the big thing.
Yeah.
And you're not gonna get that until you keep showing up. Even if you don't get any results, just show up.
Yeah, and I think that's the important thing to note here, right? Like when you first start and you don't believe in yourself, you're going to get a lot of feedback from the outside. And it's not that once you start to actually get shit done and you start to see some success, that it's not that all of that like is no longer present. Like you don't have haters when you're, celebrities don't have haters. They don't have people who are jealous of them. No, they actually have 10,000 times more people who are jealous of them than you do. And you probably don't have any haters to begin with, but these people, they actually have haters. I will say right now in this current state, I don't really have any haters, but in the future, I'm sure that I will.
Yeah.
And but I mean, the point I'm trying to make is that when you hear all that outside feedback and you don't believe in yourself yet, that's the only time it even matters, right? Yeah. Once you start to get results and you start to get shit done and become successful and you start to believe in yourself, more importantly here, the most important thing, you don't really give a shit about other people who don't believe in you, or at least you shouldn't, because they just matter so little that it's not even funny. Like, there are plenty of people who believe in you, and even if they don't believe in you, all that matters is that you believe in yourself and you roll with that, in my opinion.
And the best way, if you don't believe in yourself, I'd say one foot in front of the other until you get that result. That result is then going to get you to start believing a little, and then you run with that. But other than that, I mean,
work comes before the belief.
There's no way
don't forget that.
I can think if you don't believe in yourself, then the best way is to put the one foot in front of the other until you get whatever result you're looking for. But yeah, I just wanted to say that I ran with it. The jealous. I wouldn't say that, but let's say quote unquote hate. It's a good thing.
Yeah,
because it
definitely, and jealousy especially.
Because you know when they say if you have people that love you,
because I think even we keep messing this up here because the buzzword haters.
Yeah, I'm saying that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Quote unquote haters.
Yeah.
But
so I think we just say jealousy though.
Yeah, people who are jealous of you.
Because like I don't even know what the fuck
they're gonna make as much noise as the people who love you, so they're not such a bad thing either.
Oh yeah, no, actually, I think it's not even that. Like people
A
who
lot of those
love you.
people are actually louder. The jealous people.
Well, I think that the people that love you are a lot louder than the people that hate you too.
Yeah.
Or who are jealous, right?
Yeah.
Because like for me, like I'll have one dude come in, start talking shit, and if he does it like when everybody's there, dude, this guy will get ripped apart like wild animal. Like
Yeah.
these guys will get destroyed.
Yeah.
Like the people that love you will literally tear these people apart for you, and you won't even have to say anything. It's like, okay, well that's that. Ban. All right. And just block them. You know, I mean, like, fuck them, dude. Who cares?
I don't want to say it, but like have people that are jealous have a passion for you and hate with a passion, or
Yeah,
just
right?
have jealousy for a passion for
And
you. But
I think the other thing is, like, another solution here is just straight up block these dudes, dude. Who fucking cares about your haters or ban them in your chat or like, I mean, if it's your, I mean, so I guess we already commented on this, right? So if the person you think that is, or like the, you know, maybe previously you thought this person was a hater, like your mom, right?
yeah,
Your mom's not a hater. She just wants what's best for you.
In
And that's
most
understandable.
cases.
You got to understand that. In most cases,
Yeah.
yes. Like 9 times out of 10. And in the times that, or maybe, and your girlfriend as well. But like, I mean, your girlfriend, you can kind of just, you know, break up with, drop. And I know that's not easy to do, but you got to figure out what you want more. Do you want to succeed or do you want to do whatever your girlfriend or
A lot of
boyfriend
the-
wants you to do?
a lot of the times, which is rare, but a lot of the times it can be the like the mom, which is sick, or the parents or the girlfriend. They don't want you to be doing better than them, and that's like
Dude, and that's fucked
straight.
up.
Yeah, that's straight jealousy. But that's straight jealousy. But it's
Right.
like
And in that situation, just get the fuck out of there, dude.
Yeah, in that
Like,
situation, it's
I
just
wouldn't mess with
tune
that.
them out.
Yeah.
the best you can, if that's what you're dealing with. That is like few and far and rare, but those cases are out there. So
Definitely.
nothing that I've dealt with. So that's as much as I can say. But
Yeah. And so we cover that. And then, you know, for the people who are jealous, the people who are hating in your comment section, in your in your chat, ban them, dude. Who the fuck cares? Like,
Yeah.
really, who cares? You shouldn't care about these people and they shouldn't hold you back. I mean, they don't matter. They're irrelevant. And the reason why they're irrelevant is because they're sitting there wasting their time hating on people like you or being jealous of people like you. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't really know what else to say about that.
I just want to go over the recap and the things that I got and that could help a lot of people just go off
Yeah.
of it. Is people that you people that are like jealous of you know that they're not in a good place.
Yeah.
First, to start off there.
If people hate you because or
they're
are
not-
jealous of you because of something that you're doing,
They're-
well, sorry,
they're not in a
they're
good state
jealous-
of mind.
Yeah. They're jealous not because of what you're doing, but you're probably doing something right because you found a way to make people jealous of you.
Yeah,
So you are clearly,
that's a good telltale.
yeah,
Run with it.
there it is.
50-50 rule. 50% of the people are going to love you, 50% of people are going to
Right,
not like
right.
you. And there's nothing you can do about it, so just let it go.
Instead of trying to
Don't
ride the
worry.
line in the middle. And see, I mentioned this earlier. For me, with the 50-50 rule, whatever, I'm very neutral, right? Like I don't do that intentionally though. I'm just like naturally a neutral opinion on shit. Like
Yeah.
I don't try to go too far into either whatever. And that's just how I've always been. But let's say you are one of those people. Maybe you should consider going all in on what you believe in and sticking to that instead of trying to make people like you. Because people that love you are going to be there's going to be far more people who love you than the people who hate you. And those people are going to be a lot louder. They're going to love you a lot more. And that's all that there is to it.
And third, that I can think of is a lot of people. A lot of the times, it can be constructive criticism, and I can't do that for you. So you're gonna have to look at your situation, and know when you're masking it with hate or jealousy when it's actually true, and you're just again masking it, saying, "Oh, it's just hate or it's jealousy," but it's actually true, and you need to take that constructive criticism and look it over and see where you can improve. Because those people might, like I said, a lot of times people, they just don't say it in the best way, so it comes off as they're jealous, like your parents, or they're hating. But it can be constructive
Yeah.
criticism, and they actually just care for you, and they see something that you don't see because you got the horse blinds on. You're working 24/7, and you don't see what you're really doing. So
Yeah. And just keep in mind, we say all of this while we're in the middle, right?
yeah,
Like this is shit that we've experienced up until this point. Like, let alone things that happen in the future. And we'll comment on this, or we'll maybe make another podcast then. But like, remember what we said in the first podcast if you listen, or if not. Basically, we're trying to capture the journey right now. Like, we're both 21, 22, and we're new to the game. Like, we're young bucks in the game. We're not like, deep entrenched. Like, we've been in the grind for 10 years. I mean, I will say we've been focusing on this for like 3 to 4 years now. But that being said, like, we haven't done shit. So we're capturing the grind right now in the beginning stages, but we've already worked past a lot of this stuff, right?
Yeah.
And if you're at the very, very beginning, like you're just getting started, just know this is stuff that you're probably going to experience at some point, and you might have a struggle or a difficult time like trying to figure out what to do. And just reference this podcast, right? You got haters, you got people who are jealous, you don't know what to do, they're holding you back. Fuck them. Ban them. They don't matter. You're doing something right.
Ban
That's all
'em.
there is to it.
That's as much as I can say. I would just say, just look back at this podcast because a lot of people do struggle with it, and it's interesting, like I said, to see your point of view as someone who doesn't really struggle with it. So, it was cool to see that.
Yeah, for sure, dude.
But yeah, that's what I wanted to touch on today. By the way, guys, thank you for the support on the first podcast. That was fucking insane. We had people having like listening parties that I
Dude,
had
people
tuned into.
actually had
Yeah.
listening parties.
You
That
guys,
was sick.
you know who you are. Thank you so fucking much. That was awesome.
Appreciate you, dude.
Like I said, this has been in the works for a long time, and I always had this picture in my mind, like this whole studio. I always pictured it in my mind, and you know when you picture things in your mind, and they actually happen, they don't turn out to be like as hype as you thought. This was actually more hype, and it's like a deja vu. Every time I record a podcast here, it's like a deja vu. And although like making videos and like I'm gonna start streaming too, this is probably my
Twitch.tv/State of Jays with an S at the end. Go follow right now because if you haven't yet, you're wrong.
This is probably like my favorite thing to do, this podcast, because I like talking.
And this is what we do all the fucking time.
I'm an
by the way.
egotistical mother. No, I'm just kidding.
I love to hear my voice, dude. I love it.
But yeah, I love helping people out where I can, and I know Ultrah does too.
And plus, this is what, dude, you guys gotta understand. This is literally what we've been doing for fucking years, dude. Like, I know we
again,
talked about it.
going back to what you said. Sorry to interrupt.
It's all good.
The 4 years. All you see right now, like this looks like we just did it like within a month. No, this has been like 4 years in the making. Like what you're
Well,
saying.
maybe okay, yeah. So not necessarily. Listen, if this was 4 years in the making, it'd be like
we fucked up
nuts.
somewhere. We
yeah,
went wrong.
right. It's not that good yet, but mostly just like everything with the mindset that and all the podcasts to come, everything in the mind. Like the mind, it takes a long time to learn shit like this. I feel like so if you don't get it right away and you don't understand where you could apply this right now, just know somewhere down the road you might find a point where you can apply this. And also, I guess this is kind of intended for our younger audience, because if you're older, chances are you've already figured this out. Though, as you know, I'm sure you can find somebody who gets held back by like petty bullshit that doesn't matter, and they're very immature. I mean, it is what it is. Yeah, I've had a few people like that. 40 years old and cares about the opinion of other people that are irrelevant. I mean, come on, dude.
But if you're young, like Ultrah said, don't worry. We'll be here in 1 year, 2 years,
3 years.
3 years, 4 years.
Yeah,
we'll
we'll be here. We'll be here. Yeah. So yeah, it's been a long time in the making though, and also this is like shit. Dude, you remember like 2 years ago? 2 years ago when we were like, dude, we should just record because like we mentioned earlier, and like we mentioned in the last podcast, we'll talk about this all the time. Mobbing. We were driving around in the car.
Mobbing is a slang word for driving around.
Yeah, mobbing doesn't mean like pitchforks and shit. So you guys know, I'm just so everybody's clear here. We would just drive around and just talk about shit and like, business ideas and talk about like success and life shit, that type of stuff. And I remember like 2 years ago, we recorded it on the phone. We were like, dude, this shit is fire. We got to record this on the phone and just like catch it off the riff and like not even know we're recording.
I still got them in here. So one day
Do you still have it?
Yeah, we'll play them.
We recorded it on your phone?
Yeah, we'll play them. Dude, this phone has everything. I've had this phone since high school. And you always
There it is, boys.
You always shit on this phone. So don't shit on it.
No.
It's got everything.
I that's actually the most hype
iPhone
shit
6,
ever.
careful. It's fucking dangerous.
Dude, you guys have the content we have. Like all the bloopers when we go to start recording here, and it's like just fucking we literally mess everything up and everything's broken. It's like, fuck. All right, I guess we're starting over, dude. Whatever, man. Fuck. 5 minutes in, we got to start over. I mean, actually, we had to start over 5 minutes into this podcast because of the fact that like there was a ton of static on the line and I could hear it in the headset. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
I don't even know what happened, but we just like unplugged, replugged everything in, and it sounds good now. But we had to start over 5 minutes in. The first podcast, we had to start over like 10 times. We had to cut a bunch of shit out. We still got the bloopers though, baby. Don't worry.
But don't worry, like
gonna be great.
like anything else, it gets better as it goes. So
Right.
yeah, we just wanted
That's
to
exciting, man.
we just wanted to thank you guys. Thank you guys so much, and
Yeah, thank you.
I feel I only ask this thing, but I ask that you guys please rate and review if you guys are like what you guys are listening, because that helps us tremendously on the charts.
Especially on iTunes, by the
Yeah,
way. If you
especially on
guys
iTunes.
are following on Spotify or whatever, and you have an iPhone and you don't mind helping us out, go to the iTunes version of this podcast, which you can find on my Twitter or Instagram or wherever, Twitch, YouTube bio.
You name it.
Yeah, you name it. You'll be able to find it. But if you guys don't mind doing us a favor, that would really, really, really help, because the ratings on iTunes really matter. So go review, like it, subscribe to the podcast wherever you're listening, and yeah,
5-star. And if you hated it, no pun intended, 5-star too. For the hate. If you really hated it, 5 stars.
Yeah, we did something right? Yeah, it makes sense.
But yeah, no, honestly, on a real note, thank you guys so much.
Yeah,
we would actually
appreciate you guys.
appreciate that, guys. And yeah, you can follow me on YouTube at State of J, Twitch, State of J's, Twitter, State of J's.
And you can find this in the description as well. I'm Ultrah TV on Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, Facebook,
You name it.
Twitter. I'm Ultrah TV everywhere. Also, call me Ultrah, call me Zach. I don't really care. It's totally fine either way. I respond to both. So appreciate you guys. Thank you all so much for listening, and we will
Till next time.
catch you next week. Peace.